Hello, look, I'm doing this video to give you my truth, my experience, and a lot of insight in this video so that you can play it as many times as you need to. And I want you to learn, and I want you to really understand what goes on in doing a cold call. So I'm just going to show up raw and real and just talk my talk. It's because I think you know that out of necessity I started cold calling because I was in debt. But actually nobody taught me how to do it. Even though I had a corporate background, business to business, I've worked in television, telecommunications. I was an insurance agent for 5 years, only sold what I believed in though. And so when I started the whole cold calling experience of writing my own script, picking up the phone, deciding who I wanted to do business with, who was in alignment with my skills and talents, I created the whole process. So I spent a shitload of time poking around on YouTube, and the only people that I gleaned anything from were actually Americans, not Australians. And I just find that Australians generally don't have an attitude of servitude. And the women who said they'd work for me in Australia, they crumbled. I just can't be bothered, I'm over it. So I've been to the burning bush, and the truth is, look, in business, there's only 3 things you need, basically. A lot of people spend money and invest in the wrong areas because they don't know what to do, and they show up on social media being all nice and smiley. Well, that's a lot of nonsense. So in business, either you have a product or a service, and in my case, service, and you've got to know how to reach people and what to say. You've got to have a message. Most haven't. And you've got those people who get to know you. You've got to be able to have transforming conversations. That's called sales. So there's only 3 things: product or service, marketing and sales. Strip it all away. Otherwise, if you haven't got that, it's a freaking hobby. The failure rate of people in business is extremely high. So I'm just talking a lot of truth here, and I haven't made any notes because I tend to speak from my heart and I'm in flow. Now, the truth is, in business, throughout the decades, you know, you've got all the great salespeople and like the likes of Brian Tracy and the books that have been written that are in the 20s, the 1930s, you know. These are men, not women. These are men in the sales space throughout the ages who, in times of recession in America, they've made a freaking fortune. Because what goes on up here, and a decision and skill and the action. So to create your own economy, girls, you create from the inside out. If you watch the news every night and you're at the mercy of all the bullshit and the negativity that's going on, you need to not watch it. I'm being really blunt, but I'm not here to be Jekyll and Hyde. I'm here to be me. And I can be sweet, but I've got to call it as it is too. So what I'm saying is, anyone who can sell will never be at the mercy of external circumstances. That is on the market. That is the highest, most valuable. Do you see the dramatics? That's the most valuable skill to have. Sales. I'm not talking $100. 10-year-old can do that. I'm talking high value. So, and the women that I know in Australia who I've been serving, they cringe, they vomit, want to vomit at the word sales. Because they've got stinking thinking and they're ignorant, they don't understand. And sales is service. I would have no clients if I wasn't masterful at the transforming conversation, and that's my true heart. I think I often love it more than the service delivery. Once someone pays me and they're a client, I've got to do a lot of work. I've got to give my best all the time, every week. And even though I love it, the transforming conversation is my true heart, called sales. I could do it all day long, every day. It's very intimate. I learn so much about people. I have to be respectful. I have to be very present to listen and to call also people out on their BS. And people buy on emotion, not logic. And I think it's because of my counselling and family therapy background that serves me well, even though I failed in business at counselling because I didn't know how to do marketing and sales. I had not a clue. I was full of passion, but I fell on my bottom because I did not know what I needed to know to have a business. So to get clients, there's many different ways to get clients. And because I created the method that I still use, like this coming week, I'm doing this video for you. It's Sunday, and I can't do it on a Monday because I've got to be back working and focused. So all of the what was it? I've lost the thread. Marketing. So for me to climb out of that hole of debt that I was in all those 4 or 5 years ago, all I needed was the laptop and the phone. My voice, gratitude, and skill. And you don't get skill unless you practice. You can't. So many women want to be perfect before they start. Well, that just serves you to keep you in procrastination. You can't do that. The faster you get over your freak out to do cold calls, the better. That's worth gold in itself. The faster you're willing to fail, have a tizzy fit and go, oh my God, I sounded shocking. Just be real with yourself. And so back in the day when I first started, I didn't start where I am now. You've got to start at the beginning because what I did to get to know someone, I didn't want to flog them a product they didn't need. I hate that. So I had to come up with a concept. So I came up with a very creative, beautiful concept that I use today, and I've improved it. And that is to do a business review for a business owner, because they wouldn't have a clue what they need. People in business don't know what they need because they're not business coaches. They wouldn't have a freaking clue. They're flat out getting enough clients to do a service for $100, let alone knowing what they need. People don't know what they need. That's my job. So I ask powerful questions. And so I started out doing a business review. I'd book them in for an hour and ask all the right questions and give them the feedback. So that gave me a bird's eye view into their strengths, their weaknesses. And from that, I could say to them, if they were not hoity-toity, if we were sort of in alignment, and if they were open, I'd say something like, look, with what I've told you about your truth, is this something that you want to talk to me about, that you would like me to possibly help you with? So I don't go around making offers. No, they've got to commit to me first. And I tell them the price first. I don't do sales the crappy way. So that is how I started designing what a self-employed practitioner needed. So I was solving a problem. And that's why I felt good, because I wasn't selling them something they didn't need. And then I'd price it accordingly. So let's talk about who you're being on a phone, because anyone listening to me right now, I'm going to say something that I think everybody relates to. Do you like getting a cold call from someone you don't know? No, I don't. Do you instantly sniff it out that it's a salesperson and you contract because you know they're going to try and flog you something? Of course you do. I do too. And I think, oh my God, you need some training. So this is the thing, the script that you're going to get from me, I've created in a way that I'm comfortable with it. And when the person I only ring mobile numbers, not landlines, I only ring cell numbers. So the women or the men who answer the phone, I'm straight up, and I'll look at my script right now, just at the opening paragraph, and I'll just give you a bit of insight into what I say. I'll say, hi, is that Sue? Oh, Sue, look, you probably won't like this. I'm going to be really upfront. This is actually a cold call. So do you want to hang, and I laugh, I make light of it. So do you want to hang up now, or will you now, or let me have 30 seconds and then decide? And look, if you don't want to talk to me at the end, we can end it there. Does that sound fair, Sue? And look, I'm just calling to see if you have the sort of problems that I fix. So that gives you some insight. I go straight to it first, and it's a pattern interrupt. And you know what? Because I go into that smiling and lightly jovial state, it breaks the ice. And I think I might get 1 out of 20 who says no. And I feel really comfortable saying it, because I don't want to sound like a sleazy telemarketer or a salesperson, because I'm not. I'm a first class act. And I want to treat people with respect. And so that gives you an insight into my approach. So this is not a job. It is, but it's not. So the people who do the people who have see, this is not like kids stuff where you're going to make like $10. This is generous commission. So you need to be thinking about, after this video, you need to really sit with yourself, either have a cup of tea, coffee, wine, I don't care. That's your business. But put your feet up and go, wow, if it's my business, what do I want to achieve? What do I want to achieve? What's my goal? What difference could this make to my life? Because whether you like it or not, I love money. And everything I've got on, even the paint on my painting, costs money. And money improves lives and improves the lives of many families. But you've got to start with yourself. It's like when you take a flight and the steward says to you, in case of emergency, you put the life jacket on yourself first. Because you're no good to anyone else, in our situation, if you're thinking about, when's that bill coming? I haven't got enough. I've been broke. I've been to the burning bush. So, and the reason I don't pay hourly rate, because I've done that too. And people who get paid peanuts for doing cold calling and getting paid an hourly rate, their energy is totally different from someone who doesn't get anything for the hours they put in. When you get a lot more incentive to be paid a lot of money for only making an appointment, and I mean that, only making an appointment, because the most money to be made is when you sell. But my commission is very close to what those who sell make. So those who sit around just doing their hours, it's bullshit. And their energy reflects that it's an hourly rate. So anyone who cold calls and gets results, they are an asset to themselves, to their family, to the person who's paying them. I pour love on anyone who blesses my life. And in this case, my life is going to be blessed with my calendar having, if I had 12 appointments booked in for the week, I would kiss the ground. I would hug the trees. I would just be in deep gratitude and joy and just be so grateful to myself for all the years of my struggle and travail. Because that's been my dream, actually. That's been my vision, to wake up every morning, go to my emails and see all of the leads who are booked in to have a conversation with me on Calendly. So that's what I want, because the rest is not a problem to me. I love the conversations, of those very intimate conversations where I can help people solve their problems. So a lot of this is about your mind and your heart for me, because who we're being on the phone, people see everything. Like, even you've heard me in the messenger voice messages, and you've got a feeling from how I say what I say and my personality. So I can be really compassionate, but I can be a hard ass too, because I don't take any nonsense there's some really rude women who are self-employed, and I don't take any, because a lot of them in Australia, I'll tell you this, I don't ring psychologists. And the reason is because of their training, whatever they're taught, they think they're better. And I didn't know that. So I was ringing psychologists because I sort of value the work that they do with clients. And because they do a lot of cognitive work in people's minds and subconscious. But I was just so upset by these rude women who spoke down to me like they're better than me. And I thought, F off you. So I won't tolerate that. I mean, I could be a millionaire. And you know what? Their attitude stinks. And it's a part of their training, I was told. So I don't go near psychologists, I can tell you. But a lot of women in the spiritual space in which I work, the holistic space, not everyone is spiritual. Not everyone is nice. And when they get a cold call, they go into their lower self and they're showing their true colours. And I'll be honest with you, probably about 10 years ago, I used to be rude to people who rang me from India, from the Philippines. When I heard that accent, I thought, oh yeah, they're in a call centre, telemarketers. I was rude. Well, guess what? I had an attitude adjustment, and so through my growth I became more compassionate and realised that a lot of these people are really nice people, and I like them because they've got an attitude of servitude, not like some rude Australians who, I don't know what it is. But a lot of these people in call centres who are willing to be abused and disrespected, I admire them because they're willing to take that because they want to improve their lives and the lives of their families. So there's a lot of attitude around cold calling, and that is why my script, I'm a fanatic over the years. If something doesn't work, I'll go, oh, what's wrong? At the end of the day, I'll have a glass of wine and I'll review my day and I'll go, why didn't that work? So now, that opening that I've got, when I say, look, I'm going to be up front, Sue, this is actually a cold call. Do you want to hang up now, or do you want to let me have 30 seconds and then decide? I'm really comfortable with that, and it's a pattern interrupt. And when it comes to cold calling and sales, a pattern interrupt is really essential. So yeah, it's about getting comfortable and owning the value that you're bringing to people's lives, because a lot of business owners are in a mess. They do not know who to reach out to. They get bombarded with, like I do, I get bombarded with all these text messages from social media managers, Facebook ads managers, and I go, who the hell are you? I don't know who to trust, and I trust no one, because anyone can hide behind text messages. So Cold calling is a first-class act. And if you can do it, if you're willing to become skilled at it, you will never be out of money. You will never be out of work. And in today's world, like even Grant Cardone in America, who's a billionaire, I love the man. He's, Sicilian born. He had an ice addiction till about the age of 26, and then he went to Narcotics Anonymous and cleaned up his life, learned how to sell. He didn't get married. He wouldn't get married until he got his money right, and I really respect the man. And I mean, he's just he's next level, like Brad Lee. These guys are like brothers. But what I'm saying is, Grant, he employs a lot of people, and his call center, his guys, like they do a lot of car dealerships and sales training with car dealerships, and his guys, his team do cold calls. They make a fortune. So a lot of, your perception is what drives everything. What you believe to be true is true. Like these women who say they haven't got the money and they can't pay me, I think I'll run away, And I say to them, well, you're right. Because if you believe it, that's your truth. So people who live by excuses, they're not my cup of tea. That's my hard-ass side of me. But it's true. Because I've been listening to a lot of women for a long time, and a lot of women are honouring their old stories. So they'll get more of the same. Cold calling, if you can do this, this is what I need to say. Even now, after doing this for 4 to 5 years, I'm not sure exactly, 4 to 5 years, even some days now, do you think I feel fabulous every day when I've got to do my calls? No, because I'm human. I have a personal life. I'm a single woman, and not every day is like tip-top. So some days I have negative thinking. So this is the gold. This is, out of everything in this video, this is probably the most precious. You need to own it. If you wait to feel perfect before you do cold calls, you will fail. If you wait to feel fabulous and your personal life is all sweet and ticking along beautiful, if you're waiting for that, you'll fail. So if you're waiting for perfectionism, you'll fail. So if you're afraid and waiting to feel better, you'll fail. So the magic formula is, there's no magic formula. And there's an American preacher I used to watch years ago of a morning, and her teaching on fear, I even teach some of my clients to this day. It's the most valuable teaching from the old Joyce Meyer, if any of you know her. And she says, acknowledge the fear, feel it, but do it anyway. So if you let the fear rule you, you will fail. The only way to grow your character and your courage, which in Latin courage comes from the heart, the only way to become more masterful with new skills is to feel the fear, but do it anyway, whatever you got to do. And that still shows up for me. And I want you to feel, I want to give you that, so that when you start every morning to do your work, if you're feeling crappy, allow yourself to feel crappy. That's okay. And the thing with me that I've learned is when I'm cold calling, when I leave my problems aside and I get present and I show up to be the best actress that I can be and to give my best, it really lifts my spirit. However that works, it shifts the focus off me, and by the end of it, I'm feeling like, wow, I'm so glad I did it. It's like a win. It's just like when I got, like after this video and I upload it, I'll be getting changed. I'll be doing my CrossFit. And I often talk about that in my videos because I don't always feel like going in and doing, some of the workouts are grueling. But I do it. And at the end of it, I feel great because it raises those feel-good chemicals in the brain. So anybody who wins at anything, learning a new skill, the only way to do it is to do it. Lose some, win some. It's one day at a time and evaluate at the end of the day. But girls, take ownership of this. If you want to earn a lot of money, guess what? You can with me. But it's up to you. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink it. So if you treat this as a little job, you'll probably go out the back door real quick. But if you treat this opportunity as a business and go far out, if I'm good at this, Leslie's going to promote me into selling where I make more money, you will never be broke a day in your life because these are the skills that women need. The other thing that grows you exponentially, there's 3 things that grows women exponentially that most won't do because it takes guts. Cold calling, if you want to grow a business, you've got to be visible and have a voice and do videos. I teach that to clients, and sales. So cold calling, doing videos and sales, they are the 3 skill sets that grow you more than any personal development, any counselling, and makes you money. And you'll never be broke, and you create your own economy. So they're the 3 toughest gigs in town. So if everyone and this is the other thing that I'm grateful for, why a lot of women won't do it, because it makes more space for me. If everyone did this, if all women got out of their own way and did this, it'd be too competitive. But most won't do it. They want the good results. They want to be rich and blah, 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 blah. But they're not willing to do what they should do. And the truth is, the women who do sales, videos and appointment setting are actually happier because you're taking responsibility for your own happiness. It's not without getting upset, getting angry, getting frustrated, feeling like a failure, going to bed for half the day and thinking you're going to quit. It's all part of being human. So I'm bringing this into the mix. I'm giving you no falseness because I want to be real with you. I want to help you succeed. So what else? The script, of course. The script is, I'll refine that and get that to you. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. When you get the script, this is what you should do. If you don't, it's your choice. I can't force you. I'm not going to crack the whip. But if you want to succeed at this, and if you want to fast track your success, I'll tell you what to do when you get your hands on this script that I'm sending over. You'll print it off. You'll start reading it out loud and go, oh my God, I sound terrible. You see, you got to start where you're at. You might sound great. Surprise me, delight me, please. The women in Australia who have done it for me, oh, they freak out. I don't know. Anyway, that's that. So if you haven't got a recorder app, you don't have to buy one, don't worry. Just get your phone and get your video. You don't have to do a video, but just use the audio from your video and read through your script as though you're doing a cold call. So you've got to use that tonality. Don't be salesy with a question and have an upward inflection at the end of a question. That's what salespeople do. So like I said before, so Sue, this is actually a cold call. So do you want to hang up now or let me have 30 seconds and then decide? See, that was a downward inflection. So this is like your neuro-linguistic programming skills of tonality, your pace, because people feel how you're saying what you say. That's why you got to practice. So yeah, practice and just then, and if it sounds crappy, it doesn't matter. Hit delete. Practice, practice, practice. Make it yours. If there's a couple of things in the script that don't feel right, change it, because everyone's personality is different. So I'm not being rigid, but you've got to do it properly when you get the script. But practice makes you better. That's how I've improved. And I've had feedback. Listen to this. When my clients, all 100, I'm being honest, 100% of my clients who are in my Create Your Designed Life private mastermind group, where all my video training content is for them, when they become clients and we get to know each other, 1, 2, 3 sessions in, they all give me feedback of the experience I gave them from the cold call to the sales call. And by God, I'm blessed with the feedback that I've got. So for me to teach women how to sell, I'm being the example up front. So if I was no good at it, if I was not masterful at it, I'd be giving them an experience that's like a typical salesperson, and they probably wouldn't be clients, because people cringe at that and being pushed. I get people to make their own decision. I'm very skilled at that. So yeah, I get a lot of feedback, and I'm always on the edge of my seat when I ask for feedback, because I never know what I'm going to hear. But that's how I learn, and it keeps me grounded. And I'm just so blessed. You'd be amazed the nice things that I hear back from the women who become clients, and then some who don't become clients that I've cold called and done a business review for. Not everyone I make an offer to either, but you know what? A lot of them say, Leslie, you're very courageous for what you do it very well. So, people appreciate it, and I'm very transparent. I'm not fake. I couldn't have created all of this by myself and be out of integrity and be ripping people off and under delivering. It would have come back and bit me. Some clients at the beginning, I was desperate to get sales, and I shouldn't have offered them because they were too hoity-toity and I didn't like them, and I was glad to get rid of them as fast as possible. But I'm being truthful, but I don't do that anymore, because the clients I have relationships with, we become really close, and they pay me to get them results. And I teach women how to make a lot of money. So I couldn't do that if they didn't like me and I didn't like them, because I've got to smack them with words when they fall off the rails. I've got to get them back up, keep them accountable, and say, look, what's the problem? Open up. So if they don't feel safe and trust me, they're not going to talk to me and share their heart and share their intimate problems. They don't feel safe. So to me, relationship is everything, just like I'm giving you girls. So it's who I am. I love relationship. That's my gig. And I'm good at what I do. On the technical side and systems and all, I'm no good. But I'm not a labourer. See, you don't have to be good at everything. You be good at this one thing, girls. You be good. You become obsessed with cold calling and booking appointments for Leslie, and clear away a lot of crap out of your life that's unnecessary, and you become masterful at this, you'll be a different person. And you'll make good money. And at that stage, you'll probably even, get to do some of my sales. Because I'll tell you my vision. To have 3 to 4 beautiful women doing appointments for my week, booking prospects in to my Calendly, I want the problem that I'm swamped. That's the problem that I want, that I'm swamped and I go, oh, Jesus, what am I going to do? That's what I want. It's a beautiful problem. That's been one of my visions. That's called growth. So this is a level playing field for anyone, what I'm offering here. You've got my support. If during the week you're having a hard moment and you need a little on Messenger, you need maybe a 5-minute video call to get you through a glitch you might be having, I'm available for you to reach out to. I'm here to support you. I want you to succeed. I want you to feel that you can talk to me. What else? These are the main things that I'm going over. This is a long video, and I'm going to upload it and shoot it out, the link over to you, so that you can. But I want to give you this. This is the real rock solid foundation. And then when you get the script and print it off and start practicing, and then you start making the calls into the practitioners, the natural therapists who I give you the details of, you've just got to do the do. Do the do, do the do, do the do. So I just want you to succeed. I want me to succeed. And that's it for now. Thank you.